You sat in the first one going clockwise, so
Okay, we must run that. He's in the first
he gets to go last.
So we have a lot of just regular stuff going on right now. Nothing's official yet, and I did send an email just to inform the board unofficially that we had applied for the Strategic Initiatives Grant that ITD had out, and we made the preliminary cut. Nothing's official until it's approved by their board in December's meeting. But the amount that was, will hopefully be awarded to us if the cut list doesn't change is $990,000 for removal and replacement of a mile section of Silver Valley Road in the Big Creek area. It's one of the worst sections that we have, and so we're cautiously excited about the notification because there were only 48 applicants that were awarded through this, and so they had over 130 applicants, and so there were several that the project was declined, and so ours is on the accepted list. So we're pretty excited about that, and I'll be sure to let you know officially once that goes through.
If it is officially completed, when would the work be scheduled?
Summertime. It's going to be done. Yep, it's going to be done. This coming year. So those were the instructions. They wanted to have the projects at least 75% designed and ready to go. And so we did that, and they wanted a commitment through the application that it would be done this year. So the deadline, I think, is November 24th that the work has to be done, and so that'll be something that is contracted out. And so we're pretty excited about that. So hopefully there's more news to come with that. Just to kind of let everybody know the volume of projects that are going through the Public Works Department right now. We have a ton of irons in the fire. We're in multiple phases of design on several projects. Right now we've got 12 bridges in the mix. The majority of them are through the Leading Idaho Local Bridge. A lot of those are in design, and several of them will go in this coming year, and then hopefully the remainder will go in the following year. So we just have a lot of moving parts on all of these, and then we have the two federal aid bridge projects that we have going on, West Fork, and then the bridge up Pine Creek as well. Those are going to be 25 and 26 for construction year. We're starting on the Moon Pass, the FLAP grant that we were awarded for the Moon Pass tunnels and trestles for rehabilitation. That's going to go, we're going to select the consultants in the next month and a half, and that one's going to go into design, and that one is slated for construction year 27. FH9, which is Coeur d'Alene River Road, from Kingston to the Pritchard Cutoff, and then from Pritchard Creek Road, which is from Pritchard all the way to Murray, is going to be the recipient this year of some work for a safety project. It was a FLAP safety, and so that was a no match as well. And so that's going to be pavement markings, signage, some guardrail, things like that. And then we do have this year, we were awarded our RAC grant for Old River Road rehabilitation of miles 1 through 8. So we're going to do as much work as we can to get that road in better shape. $200,000 for that, and we're going to be doing work that's going to happen this coming year. We're going to be doing our chipping, which is $100,000 worth of work up Pine Creek, and that was something that was awarded a couple years ago. We have 3 years to use it. Things fell through last year, so this year will be our year for that. We are actually applying for an additional LRIP because we're eligible again, and we're going to be applying for an additional $100,000 to be used up there. We would like to make the most of that project and get the most that we can, and that's the main Pine Creek Road. So with all of these going on, everything is in different phases of design. We're looking at, this is all other than the 2 bridges for federal aid. The majority of this is no match funding. And we're looking at projects roughly $36 million total coming into this county. And so we're going to see some huge progress happening over the next couple of years. We haven't really talked about that for a while, and I just kind of want to give you a scope of what we were looking at. Other than that, we have hired 4 temps for our winter season. We're still looking for one more in Smelterville. So, if anybody hears of anybody looking for seasonal work that has a CDL, please send them our way. We did fill our open full-time position in Osborne. So we have full staff there right now, currently as of today. We're still working on our 10-day encroachments, clearing things out for winter time, getting things ready. We've been working closely with Sheriff's Office on that. We have a couple of larger areas where broken down vehicles are kind of clustered along the sides of the road, and so we've been working closely with Sheriff's Office on that. We've had an issue lately that people have been putting up signs in our right-of-way, so we're going through our 10-day encroachment process to get those out of the way because they will most likely get in the way of plowing, so we need to get those cleared out. And just readying our equipment for winter. Our grader is finally back. We had some big repairs on our 2004 grader in the Murray district. That's an important district to have a grader. They only have one. It needed a new transmission, and so we just got that back within the last week. So we should be ready for winter up there. Our heater, one of our heating units has gone out in the Marble Creek shop, and so I will be getting with Sydney to put something on the agenda for next week to get approval for replacement of the unit that has gone down, because that is something that we've not budgeted for. So I'll bring that to you guys officially in a meeting for that, but we need to get them back online. It's very cold down there. They have minimal, they had 2 units. One is kind of limping along. The other day it took 2 hours to get it fired up, and it's a diesel burning unit, and so we're going through a ridiculous amount of diesel, and at $4 a gallon, we're gonna get that taken care of. But other than that, we've just been doing bridge work, clearing brush around trees. Marble Creek, this is the first time in I don't know how long they've gotten all of the brush and trees cleared around all the bridge approaches, under the bridges. They've done just a great job down there. I'm seeing some huge progress in District 4. And that's kind of about it.
Only 36 million?
Okay.
We'll strive for bigger numbers next year.
Good
job, Jessica.
Think pavement.
We're working on it.
Give me
Yeah,
36 million in pavement, and man,
we're working on it.
I'll buy you one of those Christmas trees out there.
Deal.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. How's fire?
Fire, we're plugging along, burning piles in Kellogg. We've got a little bit left to do in Terror Gulch. Should be done by mid-month, mid-December. And then those guys will probably take the rest of the season off. What I'm going to start doing is the next round of reimbursements in the county and the next round of grants that we can apply for, which some will come out in January and some will come out in February. Hopefully get those in. So far, we haven't been denied, but you never know.
Are we getting reimbursed on anything yet?
I don't know, I haven't talked to Tammy. Tammy usually lets me know when we get a reimbursement check,
Okay.
because I have to have a copy of that into my files, so I haven't seen any lately. But the last time I talked to the state of Idaho, they were still working.
How much do we have there for reimbursement?
I'm not really sure, but it's probably close to 100,000.
Okay.
Were you going to need space for your files after moving out of the office building over there?
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Are you started to move, or are you?
Yeah, yes, we were going to move all the desks out of there today, but we had a with the snag, and so we're gonna do it tomorrow. Once I get most of the bigger, heavier stuff out of that office, then it'll only take a little bit to get out of there.
As you know, I think we have that until the end of December.
Right.
Yeah. The letter was sent out, so.
So how are you moving the heavy stuff?
Couple of the guys, one of the crews from, one of the contractors, he's gonna come help me with all that stuff down the flight and a half of stairs that we gotta down.
Okay.
So,
All right. So you've got some help.
yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Anything else from the board on questions? Thanks. Fire danger seems to be down.
It is, but one thing you have to realize is when it's as cold as it is, it freeze dries everything. So the surface fuels could be
Mm.
drier than what you think.
Hmm. Okay. Good point. In the basement. P, Z. One of you is P, one of you is Z.
Yeah, civilian team. Much of the same as we've been talking. We've been plugging away. This is done. We've got 8 active permits at the moment for November, which is a lot for November. Usually it dies off quite a bit. We've got 3 or 4 code violation processes we're working through, which are always pretty time consuming before they finally get their permits and then get that process done. We're investigating a few other ones. We're still working through a couple of code changes and ordinance amendments. We've got the MOD one that's still been working through the process, and hopeful to get that scheduled for the January hearing. Coming up in December, we'll be hearing the access road and private driveway standards ordinance change, where we'll be adopting the fire code for those standards. We'll be hearing that in December, and then that will come before you soon thereafter. Other than that, we're just going to plug it away with hopefully with some P&Z. But emergency management wise, as I said last month, we got all the grants finalized for this next year. I just got some stuff from BJ for some cybersecurity expenditures we had planned since earlier this year. So we'll put a bunch of those in to get a bunch of equipment to keep increasing that. That'll drown out much of last year's grant and then use up the portion that we have allotted for this year's grant. So we're going to get all that done. And we took the MCU trailer out of the hospital and took it down to Fire District 1, and they're going through it to figure out what equipment they need replaced in it, and then part of our project will be to replace some of the medical equipment on that mass casualty trailer, and then that will be part of our exercise. In the spring, we'll be doing a workshop drill exercise where we practice pulling the trailer out and setting up the equipment that's in it, just kind of walking through who are the actual people that are going to go get the trailer and take it to a scene and know how to use the equipment that's in it and have a good understanding of it.
Other than those 50 things, do you have anything else going on?
Trying to figure out various other things, what to do with airports, what to do with RVs, what to do with tiny homes has been our bane of existence the last couple of months. We've got a few of the investigations we're working on, and the whole tiny home RV park model debacle that is an issue. But how do we deal with it? So, plugging away, trying to figure out ways.
It's across all of the counties, huh?
It is, and nobody's really figured out, a good way to regulate it and a good way to make it fair. And so it's an ever growing problem when we've got manufacturers in Washington and even in other parts of Idaho that are making these units that aren't building code approvable. And because there's counties that don't require building code, you can use them there, but not here. So people are trying to bring them here and start using them like manufactured homes, and it's not the code. And so we have to tell people they can't. So we're working through those things. And that will probably be something that comes up January, February, as soon as we've done with these other ordinances. We have some examples of some ways of putting that stuff into an ordinance. We have some definitions to enforce on how you use these things. Right now, much of our issue is we don't have explicit definitions of what is what. And so it becomes a he said, she said, or judgment call. We want to narrow that down to be less of a judgment call and more of a you either are or you aren't. So that will be coming probably on the fast track. And we found a couple of good examples of what might work pretty well here. So. Other than that, nothing.
And Cindy, did we get a meeting set? It's per my group.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have that. All right. Any questions from the board? From P or Z? Agent P, Agent Z. Okay. Mike, what's happening in the
Good morning. Trouble to deal with, but just a quick update on what we've been working on in probation is I think the last meeting I attended, Christy Miller's been certified misdemeanor probation. She's starting to take on those cases now, so she does the juvenile cases and some misdemeanor cases. So that's a new process in our program. Hopefully it'll lighten some load on Mike's side of the table. So I appreciate that and her hard work. We're still working on the grant. I won't go into detail with it because I know she's going to. So I won't talk about that, but Christy and I are team members on that program, and I think it's going well. I won't take the rest of it away. We're finishing up our year-end financial report for the Department of Juvenile Corrections, and we'll have it down for your signature hopefully tomorrow. And it's just we spent all the money. It's good news that they gave us. Although I can't compare to millions. I apologize, but it's what we get. It's a little over $50,000, which we're very appreciative of, because that pays the majority of Christie's salary. So, but we're busy. We're open for business, and I guess a little quick update with treatment court. We've had 2 graduations in the last couple of months, and we're got 3 active applications for new folks, so we're staying busy on that end too.
And for the public who might watch the video, explain summary. What does that entail?
Treatment court.
For those.
It's for folks usually high risk, high need, individuals with alcohol and drug related issues that can. It's a diversionary program in Shoshone County. It's pre-sentence. The prosecutor and the attorney work out a deal where if they admit to the felony in district court or misdemeanor DUI, then if they successfully complete this diversionary program, which includes drug testing and intensive outpatient treatment, they graduate from that, then they would get a lesser sentence and possible dismissal on criminal charges.
Okay.
Well, 30 seconds, that's what it is.
Yeah, I think it's good to let the public know that that's going on. So.
Absolutely.
Questions from the board? Comments? Appreciate the work you're
Thank
putting
you.
into it and the people you're helping. Grant Queen?
Well, tag on to what Mike said with the treatment court this summer, we were able to get a grant through the Panhandle Health our opioid settlement money, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that, but we were able to send 6 people who are integral to that in the courts, probation, and providers to the RISE seminar in Texas, and so that just gives them all those skills that they need to be doing an effective job. And we have a successful program and some pretty amazing people that are vested in this program, so that was definitely a good thing for our groups to do. And yeah, the we'll just call it ILED. The ILED has been going really well. We may have an applicant, so 3rd time's a charm again. I mean, been able to receive applicants, but they haven't had the credentialing that we needed for this position to be able to fill it. It has some specific skill sets that need to be filled. So this person has applied, fingers crossed that they are interested and will accept it, because I think they have all the credentials, as far as I know.
Yeah, they're actively a drug and alcohol counselor at this moment.
Right, so they should have everything that the certifications are required for that position, so we need to get that going. Let's see, been working through some changes with the grant for that. There's some reporting changes. It's a refining process as we go through, and we kind of knew it would be, since it was the first of its kind and the first from the Department of Corrections. It's kind of all these firsts that have happened in this one, but it's been very easy to work with the Department of Corrections and get those figured out. So I think we're on the right track there. I've been working with, we talked about the balconies out here and a grant. We did get the $7,500 reserved. That was, we thought we lost that grant through the Historic Society. So we have the $7,500 there. I've worked with the city, been talking with the city of Wallace and the Planning and Zoning on an additional grant, because they're a historic district and they can apply for those. So we'll work with an additional grant. And then also with the contractor who came in with the first bid, they substantially reduced their bid to fit into our budget. So we'll be working through that, and hopefully this next spring we'll get that grant to be able to do the work on the balconies and get those secured, and then also some planning for some historic restoration for the outside of the courthouse and other things that need to be done. So we'll keep that moving. I've been put on point for 3 different grants for the Sheriff's Office. As soon as those open, then we'll start applying for those. That'll be after the first of the year. Hopefully we'll get those. There's some pretty exciting ones in there. Mostly just a lot of paperwork, prepping for the end of the year, getting everything done for the reporting that I have to do to Treasury, as well as our audit that'll be coming up, making sure that everything's where it needs to be. We did you cover the Restoration Partnership?
No.
Okay. So Jessica and I met with the Restoration Partnership, and we've set up monthly meetings on the first Wednesday of each month to continue the conversations about the grant opportunities for recreational improvements along the river corridor through those groups, and bringing in additional funding, getting planning ready for the river, specifically the North Fork, but we'll see what that all phases out and what that looks like in the grand scheme of it. Did go through and vet the request for information for broadband. One rose to the top. I called the references that they had mentioned down in South Idaho, a county, a regional development organization, 3 cities, actually 4 cities, and they had great reviews. So it's a very unique approach. If it works, it could be a big asset to the county, but we'll work through those details and make sure that their vision is the same as our vision on what's going to happen there. And that's to apply for the BEAD grant funding. So that'll be that big. What did Idaho get? $582 million. And so we'll put together a plan for that. Still haven't heard from USDA or the state on our planning grants yet, so I don't know where those are going, but we're getting ready for more broadband grants. Almost done with a 1-year course from the Grant Professionals Association on grant writing. So I did 11 of 12 meetings this last week. So one more, and then I've got that one done. Then I've been just really reviewing the SLFRF and the LATCF funding and where those are sitting and where projects are. And I've started reaching out to the different organizations or groups that received approved funding through those, and to get progress updates on where are you, are they done, what's your expected completion date, and going from there.
And we're going to hear more from you later today.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions from the board or comments? I'm going to thank you for continued good work. Okay. All right. We're so glad you made it. I saw smoke coming up today.
I did too.
From a good spot.
That's why he's not here. He had to continue burning, so we have a burner up and going. It's been big help.
Is it,
Less wood going to Missoula. So Richard's been on the burning the last week. I think it was Wednesday he burned because we had Boundary County, I think it was, came over, a commissioner or two, and somebody else, I can't remember. But they're interested in doing the air curtain burner too, so they were coming over and getting the legit of how it starts, what we do, what we can burn, permitting, all that kind of stuff. So
Would they be under the same rules on what they could burn and not burn?
that I have no clue. That would be a DEQ question.
Yeah, pretty
People
sure
would
they'd
ask.
have to.
It seems
Because I
like
think
they're-
every county is going to be different because of their population for one, and air qualities that are in there. So.
Okay. What else has happened in solid waste?
We're finally slowing down a little, so we're not doing at least 3 loads, a couple times a week. We're down to 2 loads, at least 2 to 3 times a week instead of 5 days a week.
So more like normal for this time of the year?
No,
Still-
not quite.
Still ahead of,
Just a little bit ahead. But it is slowing down, which is nice. Guys get a little break.
Okay.
You're not dying up there because it's nonstop. And our days vary. Usually this time of year is when we start dropping when people coming in. I think it was the previous week we had like over 1,000 people coming in, which is high for this time of year. Usually we're down to about 700-800, but we've been sticking right around 8 to 1,000.
popular place.
Yeah, people still coming in for stickers for this year. And we're gearing up for that. I got the stickers ordered, so a week before January we'll be handing those out. Well, I'll be handing those out. And I'm trying to think what else. We finally got our scissor lift. Finally, it took quite a while with this company we went through, and we will never go through them again. We got to run around, couldn't get answers. Finally, we had to threaten them with our attorney. And then all of a sudden, we have our scissor lift.
Had to do that.
Mm-hmm. So, the guys have put it to use. They have changed a few tarps. It works amazing. Way safer than using ladders.
Mhm.
So, happy about that. I can't remember. There was one other thing, but I can't remember what it is now. I think that's it.
okay? All right, well, thank you for that update, for what you guys are doing out there.
Sydney, anything from your side?
Nope.
You're gonna get her someday, she's gonna have a comment. All right.
Tracy, anything from yours?
No, not today.
Okay.
Sydney and I agreed to, sorry.
No.
At
You fooled me.
7:50 every day, she's gonna check the doors to make sure they're unlocked.
What time are you coming in?
Just have something pop up on the computer.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Not much, just ordinances and the road law handbook. That's
Oh,
about it.
the road law handbook, our best friend.
Yeah.
Okay,
A lot of reading.
all right. Well, let's see. Y'all saw the Christmas trees are up out there. I understand the commissioners need to get their act together and get their tree up. So I don't know if we have to do that in open. It seems like we should be able to do executive session to plan a secret tree to beat the other trees, but I guess we can't. So we're gonna have to get that organized. Public question or comment, Matt?
Nope.
None? Okay. Any final thoughts? I just want to thank everybody. I mean,
Grab your donuts, I was late, sorry.
oh, and thank you, Tracy, for bringing donut. Matt perked up when you brought those in.
That's
So.
a good reason to be.
I'm still cold.
You're
It's
still
cold.
Yeah, but so are the donuts. So, okay. All right. Well, I think that is it for the day. Then I want to thank everybody for taking the time to come in. And with that, we will adjourn.